Treasury Board Canada ਦੇ President Honorable Anita Anand ji ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਨੇ. Anita ji, very good morning. Welcome.
Dhanyavad. Namaste.
Thank you. So the government has begun developing the first artificial intelligence strategy for the public service. What is this about, and how will Canadians be benefited from this?
We know that artificial intelligence is extremely important in terms of developing greater efficiencies for business. And so our government not only has an AI strategy for the country, but we are developing one for the public service. We are Canada's largest workforce at about 300,000 people, and we put on the table $2 billion in our budget for AI investments. But as the president of the Treasury Board, my responsibility is for those 300,000 public servants. And so I had a roundtable earlier this year to gather experts to hear their viewpoints on how we can incorporate AI into the public service. That strategy on AI in the public service will be available next year. And in the meantime, we have a set of guidelines for generative AI in the public service and the use of generative AI. We're encouraging the use of generative AI so that we can tap into those efficiencies that artificial intelligence offers, and we'll continue to do the work we need to have the broader strategy in place as well.
And also changes to the public service pension plan this year is on cards. So what's the proposal and how will we get benefit out of it?
Well, in December, I received a set of recommendations from the PS PAC. That's a committee that examines public service pensions, and they recommended something called 25 years and out. That's retirement after 25 years. And I accepted their recommendations and actually broadened the number of groups who can retire after 25 years with their pension in place. And those are the frontline workers, generally speaking. For example, the border services agents, the parliamentary protective service. Those are the types of groups that we're targeting with this new policy.
You are planning to bring diversity in the public sector. So how did you hit this plan, and what are the plans?
Well, you can appreciate, being of Indian origin like myself, the importance of ensuring that we grow a diverse and inclusive country. And the same is true for the public service. As I said, 300,000 public service employees, and my work involves ensuring that all of them feel welcome in the public service. And so this year I launched a couple of different initiatives, one for Black public servants, for supports for those individuals who need counseling and mental health supports, as well as career development supports. And then for the broader diverse community, we have recommendations on restorative engagement that come from a task force that I struck. And all of those initiatives that have been recommended are backed by federal dollars in previous budgets. All this to say, I'm a diverse Canadian. I believe strongly that our institutions, our governments, our hospitals, our schools, our universities, our public and private corporations should reflect the demographic composition of our country. And so I'm doing that work in the public service just as I did in the Canadian Armed Forces while I was the Minister of National Defence.
That's right. And how do you look at the recent developments in the party where your colleagues are raising voices after the loss in Toronto St. Paul riding?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Leslie Church, the candidate who ran for us in Toronto St. Paul's. She's an incredible candidate. I'd like to thank her team, as well as all of the volunteers. And in fact, all of the voters who came out. There was a record turnout in Toronto St. Paul's, especially for a by-election. And so that shows the power of the vote, the power of democracy. We need to see more of that. In terms of the going forward, of course, I support the Prime Minister and I support our policies the policies that are supporting Canadian families, whether it is the Canada Dental Benefit, Pharmacare, the $10 a day child care, or the Canada Child Benefit, increases in old age security. These are supports that make a tangible difference in Canadians' lives. And we are seeing that there does need to be more done. We're listening to Canadians to meet them where they are, but at the same time, we need to continue to work to roll out these other benefits.
So you are here for the stampede or some other purpose?
For the stampede, that's why I have my cowboy hat with me.
Yeah. So
Lee, it's such a pleasure to see you today. And actually, I'd like to thank you at Red FM for the work you do to spread crucial information to our communities and also to show what is possible in communications for South Asian families and beyond. I'd like to take my cowboy hat off to you.
thank you. Thank you very much, Anita ji. And now the final words.
Well, as I said, being of diverse background and having parents who met in Ireland, got married in England, lived in India and Nigeria before immigrating to a very small town in Kentville, Nova Scotia in the 1960s, I look back at the past decades and say, this country is incredible. It allows people from all walks of life and all backgrounds to have a chance at success. And as a government, the more we can do to support the dreams that Canadians have, the more we will do that work together. And so thank you once again for having me here. Shukriya.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita ji, for joining
Shukriya.
us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.